going to dance. We're going to dance and have some fun.
You can hang out in studio with him every week. You can also meet him at the Serve Pickleball and Kitchen, I think daily, but also once a month intentionally to read a book.
Once or twice a week, not daily.
Papa Tom, host of the Father's Heart Talk Show, joins us in studio this morning. Good morning, Papa Tom. Great to see you.
Good morning. It's always great to be here.
You were here yesterday recording your show for this week, and it sounds like it was quite a special experience for you.
Was.
Would you share with us what is coming up on this week's episode of the Father's Heart Talk Show?
Yes, I interviewed my son, my oldest son. I have 6 kids, and he's the oldest one. And it was a very moving show in so many different ways. Emotionally, he cried, I cried at different stories we were telling, remembering things nostalgically in a sense. But it was also very touching about the relationship, not only what we had with each other, but that he had with God, I had with God, and he and I both had with God. And how it developed his life and influences it had on his life and caused him to take certain steps in his life, like feeding hobos in New York City and stuff like that. It was very, very good. He loved it so much. And by the way, we didn't have a script.
Of course not.
We just we just went with it. And it was very inspired, I would say. So in the parking lot, I was mentioning to you, Justin, afterwards, he says, I really enjoy doing that. I could do this. Well, how often do you do this? I said, I do it once a week. He said, I could do it once a week. How long do you do it for? Maybe half an hour, maybe an hour. Is that, I said, well, if you want to do it, again, we'll have to change the name of the show.
Not a bad way, though. You talk a lot about that, the father's heart, right, in reference to God seeking after his children. And there is a real relationship on this earth together between fathers and sons. How has all that inspired you for the show? And so give people the history of the show and why you started the Father's Heart Talk Show.
Well, it really went way back to when I retired from the financial services industry. That my son actually is the financial services industry in a different way. God said to me, I wanted to put you in the Air Force. I wanted to do a battle against the prince of the power of the air. Because we have all these mainstream media and all these people out there using media to present lies with having the effect of causing people to be afraid. And God wanted me to present the truth with the effect, because perfect love casts out all fear. And so to understand what God's doing in people's lives and bring that out into the open and participating in it changes your life in a good way. So he gave me the mission statement, Malachi 4:6, at the end of the age, I'll bring the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the children to their fathers, possessive case, lest I smite the land with the curse. 2 years later, he told me what the curse was, which is fatherlessness. It's the biggest social ill in America, maybe the world, but certainly in America. And so doing this for almost 3 years, I finally come to the point, after 3 years, I actually have my own son on the show. And it actually is fulfillment of that mission statement, bringing the hearts of the fathers to children, and children to their fathers, right? And there it is, live, and it's real, and it was so authentic. If you want to listen to a radio podcast or a radio show where it's authentic, listen to this one coming up, because it'll bring you to tears, and you'll just say, I want a relationship with God like that.
You can listen to the Father's Heart Talk Show each week here at WSIC. You can also listen to it anytime you want via the WSIC News app. It's available on iOS and Google Play. You're also out in the community. It's not just here in the studio. It's not just doing content all across the world. You actually are part of the Socrates in the City book club, and you host the book club at the Serve Pickleball and Kitchen. You brought the book you've been working on, too.
The book. See?
Orthodoxy. It's by G.K. Chesterton. How's the book club been?
It's been up and down, I should say, in a sense. It's a little slow getting started. Then we had people go on vacation, so. But we've got about 24 people signed up, and we have about 12, which I really like, 12, 14 people. It's hard to deal with it if you have the whole 24 people show up at once, but that 12 to 16, 12 to 15 group is very active, and it gives a lot of opportunity for people to participate. And we're having one tonight.
Tonight is the night, 6:30, right, at the Serve Pickleball and Kitchen.
And we serve food.
I was going to ask, is food included this week?
Food's good. We always have nice a bowl of fruit, a salad bowl, and then we have special things we serve. Sometimes it's sliders, but tonight it'll be something special.
Ooh, okay. You got your chance to attend. If somebody wanted to come to the book club, what's the process? Do they need to RSVP? Can they show up? What's the best way?
They should register if they can. But if they don't register, just show up at the service 6:30 today, and we'll give you a book, and you'll sit down and have good community. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it, is community.
And so you'll actually read the book together too. It's not just talking like you have to do the homework outside.
No homework.
The opportunity is to do it together in the room.
Right. I usually read it, but the whole point of it is discussion. It's not just the reading and listening to it. It's listening to it and then responding to it. And there's questions at the end. The person who wrote this book spent some time asking questions at the end of each chapter. What do you think about this? And the relevance today, because the book was written in 1905. But the guy is a genius. Chesterton was like a mentor to C.S. Lewis, to give you an idea where it is.
The opportunity to sit down and have a conversation, that seems all but lost in society these days.
That's true. Too many people spend too much time on their phones and not enough time having conversations, human being conversations. And we don't train our children that way either, which is sad. But And you need to have those human being conversations to have community. By the way, in my show yesterday, my son brought out the thing that he felt when he first got to New York City was he had time because he was single, and he would spend time buying people who were homeless food and sitting down talking to them for 3 hours. And he said he started to realize that the problems they had in their life was they had lost community. And they lost community, so they had nobody to talk to. And so he would talk to them, and just by having those human being conversations like we're having now actually builds community. That
idea of getting to know somebody and connecting, right? Because I think we're all built with the idea of wanting connection or needing connection in some kind of way. In your walk and with the Lord, and obviously through the show and things, what are some of those moments, when those stories, maybe? Because you've heard a lot of stories. You got a lot of guests that come on, so those opportunities to share. How has hearing from other people influenced you, would you say?
Well, it gives me perspectives that I wouldn't have had. I mean, if I go like John Stuart Mill, the whole person of freedom of speech, was to allow people to speak, because if you allow them to speak, you'll get a perspective you didn't have before. So if you want to stay in your own cosmos and just live your own thoughts there, but if you want to open the doors to your own mind and see different perspectives of things, you have to talk. And that's why you shouldn't censor people. You should have freedom of speech.
Bill has a crazy theory he's told me about. I don't know if he shared this one with
you. Well,
he's
crazy anyway.
That's true. But he has shared with me that he read, I think you read this somewhere, that there is a percentage of people who walk around that don't have any thoughts in their head. That literally it's just blank when they walk around. Do you think that's really possible? I can't, but I couldn't imagine that being true.
I can't imagine that.
Okay, so he's just shooting down then. Sorry, bud.
No worries.
No.
I can't imagine it either.
But there might be. I just don't know how you connect with those people, because if there's nothing going on in there, how do you tell them?
I will say this, and I think it actually has a spiritual connotation to it. I see people walking around in a stupor, like as if they're almost in a spell.
The idea, though, of a lot of people probably in this day and age, unfortunately, feel like they're alone.
Right.
What do you say to those people that feel like they're alone?
Well, that's a hard question to answer, because I think the desire, what's the desire of your heart? Do you desire to be alone? I think people have thoughts that drive them into that place of being alone because they're afraid, and they're afraid to talk to somebody. So I'd just pray for them that God would put somebody in their path that would love on them. Because if you love on somebody, then they're willing to talk, and it gets them out of that fear state and of aloneness.
The Father's Heart Talk Show, you sat down with your son. So multi-generation. In the world today, that concept, too, of we kind of have to connect multi-generationally, right? For out of need or out of want, whatever it is, it's seeming more and more like it's going to require multi-generational working together to get anything done.
Absolutely true. And we just talked about that on the show, about coming back from a beach vacation in Hilton Head, having 24 people there.
Woo!
I'm going to show a picture of the whole group in a second.
That's a vacay right there.
Woo. And in one building is a fantastic house. You can imagine how big it had to be to sleep 24 people, a pool, indoor pool, and 12 people adults, 12 people with children. Fortunately, there was a table outside, in the covered porch that we could put all the kids for dinner every night. Then we wanted to get rid of them. There was actually a movie theater in the house. Send the kids up there. But the point I was going to make is that one of the kids, his son, my oldest son's Zach's son Levi was having a birthday, and he takes out his journal and starts teaching him about what I taught him. 3 generations, right there.
Yeah.
And he said, my father taught me it wasn't about what I did, but it was about who I am. And he recited to him what it was. It brought tears to my eyes then. And then on the show, I'm starting to cry again. He's crying again about this multi-generational conversation that goes down, all about developing the character and the person of the child growing up comfortable in the process, and how a father does that, how God uses a father to do that to him.
The Father's Heart Talk Show. You can catch it every weekend here at WSIC. Listen to it always on the WSIC News app. Come by Socrates in the City Book Club tonight at the Serve Pickleball and Kitchen, 6:30. Thanks, Tom, for stopping by.
Good.